Hey there, everyone. This is another live Q&A about schizophrenia with nednednerB, the schizophrenic. I was diagnosed as a teenager about 20 years ago. I started making YouTube videos about schizophrenia and my experience in about 2006. At that time, when I made my first video, and my second video, like about 2 weeks after that, I think I was in the psych ward for the second time. And I haven't been to the psych ward for about 5 or 6 years or so, and I've been doing pretty well lately. And I'm still dedicated to giving people on YouTube a look into the experience of this condition. So, hey Zen Quartz, how's it going there? So if anyone is watching this after the fact or right now and wants to leave a question without putting it into the chat box, feel free to go to my website. It's linked in the description below. You can use a contact form where you don't need to put your email address in, and you can send me a question for next live stream, yeah, which might be Wednesday. Not sure, but might be Wednesday. I get a lot of questions in my comments on my videos from people who are just starting to learn about schizophrenia or just experiencing symptoms for the first time, or they have a family member that's going through hospitalization or diagnosis at that time for the first time. And questions I get are like, is this real? Is this happening? How do I respond to this? What should I do? Is this person going to be well ever? Are they always going to be this way? Those sorts of questions I get asked. And well, early intervention and acceptance are key to some of the conditions that go along with long-term health. So accepting when a family member or yourself gets a diagnosis, just accepting it and working with it is often helpful. And I know that there's a lot of problem with diagnosis and the mental health system. There's a lot of problems with that. There's problems with how society treats people with mental difference. There's a lot of difference that isn't necessarily illness, but we get diagnosed and we get labeled, and all that kind of thing is counterproductive to healing, counterproductive to integrating all those challenges and beneficial qualities that are part of our mental differences. So it's not all mental illness, it's not all mental health, it's just mental differences. And the health and the illness kind of have more to do with stress and everything bogging us down, like the ecological dislocation, the social dislocation, the gender and racial violence, colonization, all that sort of thing. That's getting us all down, and it incredibly impacts our well-being. So it makes sense that anyone could be unwell. So, 2 people viewing. It must be sunny out there in the world. Wednesday was a good time for a live stream. There were quite a few people who joined in on Wednesday. So I think I will do another live stream on Wednesday. Is there anybody watching at the moment? Nobody has left a question in my inbox, and I know that because I haven't seen any responses to my contact form on my website. So if anybody's watching after the fact, and there usually are some views after the fact, if you want to ask a question that you'll see answered next time, feel free to pop that into my contact box, my contact form on my website. And you don't even have to be here. You don't have to be live. You'll see the question answered in one of these streams later. So feel free to do that. Use that contact form. I'll even check right now to see if anybody sent a question. Hey there, Iron Fire Horse. Welcome. Nice to see you. The emails from my contact form go to spam, and it says nothing in spam. Nothing in my inbox either. I tested it the other day. It worked, so I know that'll work. So feel free to pop some questions into the live chat box or into that email contact form. Thanks. It's 6 minutes, 13 seconds into this live stream. I'll probably cut short around 10 minutes unless the questions start coming rapid fire. Hello there, Hannah Redmayne. So yeah, if anyone has a question, feel free. I need to drop by your website. I always forget. That's funny, Iron Fire Horse. That link to my website is in the description below. It's a bit foggy today here. It's a nice day. So, Zen, Hannah, Iron Fire Horse, questions? Hey, do I have to try many different drugs before you found something that helped? I think I did have to try many. Over the years, I was prescribed a few different ones, and each hospitalization, I'd kind of get a different slew of drugs. Some the same as before, some new ones, some different format or dosage. And every hospitalization was a significant change in meds. And then after or between hospitalizations, there was more subtle changes to the drug dosages. Mostly the dosages change more than the kinds and outside of hospital. But yeah, I think doctors treat repeat hospitalizations as an opportunity to kind of configure a new system of medication that'll hopefully they definitely hope that it'll balance out the symptoms and create a better difference in the person's symptoms. Yeah. So. Sam Quartz, do you have a question? It's 12:49. 9 minutes. Countdown, exactly. That's funny. Well, the Wednesday stream that I did a few days ago was really quite busy. It was busy right from the start even. Hi, Hannah Redmayne. How do I cope with suicidal thoughts? I am struggling. Talking about them is a good idea. Sharing with people that are safe. If someone judges you and starts freaking out at you and locks you up, that's probably not going to help. But if there are people that you can trust that can just hear you, that's a good idea to share and talk about what you want, talk about what you're feeling. If you have a doctor and you see a doctor, you might try one of the 2 drugs that doctors told me have an effect on suicidal thinking, lithium and something else. I don't know what it is, but there's like only 2 drugs that really have an effect on, that have a regular repeatable effect on suicidal thinking. That's what my doctor said. And I'm on lithium actually. And that's like a low dose of lithium is noted to reduce suicidal thinking. Not a high dose of lithium. The high dose of lithium that they give for bipolar symptoms is not necessarily more effective for suicidal thinking, but a low dose of lithium is apparently effective. So if you're safe otherwise and you're just sort of dealing with this day to day, some kind of chemical interruption to that, like that firing in the brain, that we don't want that firing in your brain. You don't want that bogging you down. I very rarely discuss the drugs I'm on, but the fact that the doctor told me lithium would potentially reduce my suicidal thinking, and then having it actually reduce my suicidal thinking was like a game changer, like 9 years ago. And so, yeah. Good luck, Hannah. Before I was on lithium, I coped with suicidal thinking kind of by brute force, simply holding it at bay, kind of like literally by force. It would come into the consciousness and I'd have to get rid of it, and just like relentlessly get rid of it. It really, like, suicidal ideation is one of the worst things there could be in psychosis and schizophrenia and bipolar and all that. I think 2 to 3 out of 5 people diagnosed with schizophrenia almost die by suicide, and 1 out of 5 or so does die by suicide. And that's too many, way, way too many. It's incredibly hard to cope with suicidal ideation all of the time. Yes, indeed. Suicide and suicidal ideation is probably the hardest topic that this channel ever has to cover. This YouTube channel. The intersection between digital art stuff and real life. It's right here. Real life is right here. EL, do I make art? Yeah, the art on the walls there is my mom's paintings. I make electronic music under the name nednednerB, and that's my primary art that I make, is musical art. I work as an audio engineer at this time, and yeah. I do some digital visual graphic art, but I'm not very adept at that. I like my music though. nednednerB is linked in the description below too. There's a general blurb that talks about that, so you can find that there. I'm just frozen here looking at Iron Firehorse's comment. That's intense. Experiencing a loss to suicide is not good for anyone. Well, it's about 15 and a half minutes into this, and I have been just cutting these short just to keep them kind of packaged and contained. So, Hannah, Iron Power Horse, I really wish you calm and peace and strength. It's been very intense here on Earth for a while. Take care. Lots of love all your ways.